All right, here we go. So I like this video, so let's check it out.
I'm going to make marketing a lot easier for you. Go to ChatGPT, say, "This is my business." Paste your entire landing page copy in the middle. Then say, "I want to message hyper-relevant journalists who cover news in my niche. What are all the angles they might report on that would be relevant to me?" You'll get a list like this. Follow up with, "Give me a prompt to give to ChatGPT agent mode so that I can find journalists to message." Take the prompt it gives you, give it to ChatGPT agent mode. ChatGPT agent mode will spend 20 minutes researching the web for you. It will do thorough research. Then it will give you a prioritized list of all your relevant journalists like this. Follow up with, "Now analyze their last 5 articles, suggest a customized pitch angle for each journalist that would align with their writing style, their coverage focus." Now you'll get pitch angles, but we will not stop here. Follow up one more time with write the pitches. Now you have all the pitch angles, the journalists to pitch to, the exact messages to give them. Before you send these messages, edit for your tone, remove AI giveaways like M dashes or buzzwords.
Okay, so what we're going to do is go to Google Gemini. We're going to do this. So I already did this, and then I realized I should film it. And so I said, hey, can we do this? But here's what I'm going to say this time. Hey, I like this strategy for the mounting man. And can you give a prompt? Give me a copy and paste prompt that I can give to ChatGPT so I can put it in agent mode and have this done front to back. And so we'll copy and paste the prompt Gemini gives us. The reason I use Gemini when it's YouTube videos is because obviously Gemini is owned by Google and it analyzes the YouTube videos. By the way, I'm still just laying in bed. I've just been watching videos and implementing things and just not wanting to get out of bed on a Saturday morning. You know, I used to always, I would get up, I'd put something on that made it look like I was being productive and then film the video, get my hair done, you know. Whereas this is just it actually looks pretty fine. But I haven't touched it. And I realized if I'm spending a lot of time talking about automation, but then I have to have everything perfect before I shoot a video, that's kind of nuts. Okay, I didn't need that last part. So here's what we'll do. So ChatGPT already knows about me, so that's not. And so we're going to do agent mode and let's let it rip. And so probably I'll have to pause this video and then let it do its thing, but I'll let you see. I'll let you see how it starts. Now I could do this with my OpenClaw bot queue, but when I'm shooting videos like this, I like to make it things that are easily accessible so that I'm not saying, well, you got to set up this whole OpenClaw bot, go through a week and a half of having a break on you and not knowing what you're doing, and it doesn't have any access to any of your API keys. This way, pop it in ChatGPT. So it's searching the web for interior design stuff I saw, which would make sense for TV mounting, especially, you know, I specialize in Samsung frame installation, so that's even more up the interior design angle. Interior designers are often recommending those TVs. Okay, Rachel on X. I don't know if my OpenClaw bot Q would be better at this or not. I'm gonna try it with her too. It's just a horse apiece. She has access to ChatGPT, obviously, through the OpenAI API key. but I have her using Sonnet and Opus and Haiku when it's simple, mundane stuff. Although Haiku is very capable, but my OpenClaw would probably spawn more agents, is what it would do, and so it probably would do it quicker. But speed isn't really what I'm concerned about. Kim Palmer. So I dig it. The difference, like this, is fantastic. Like my OpenClaw bot, it will show you. It has control of my M1 MacBook Pro, not this one. My old M1 MacBook Pro. I wiped it clean. I put the OpenClaw bot on there. I named her Q, and I had her go put me through an interview. I said, "You need to know who I am to know my motivations and where I want to go in life, what I want to achieve in business, and so we need an interview to start this thing off." And so she asked me all these questions, and it went pretty deep. It was like having a therapy session, to be honest. Everything from relationships to thoughts about the nature of the universe and God and spirituality, and you know what my relationship with money is, how responsible I am with investing, so many things that if I had done that interview like 20 years ago, it would have been less impressive. Now I've got life dialed in at this point, for the most part. So we're at recent product reviews. It's just interesting seeing how it does all this. Like, there isn't a chance in the world I would go through and do all this manually. There is not. Um, all the things like this that there are to do, there just isn't enough time to do them if you want to actually also run your business. You'd just be spinning your wheels doing so much stuff like this and not actually able to get to jobs that pay you money. But having stuff like this, like normally I wouldn't sit around and watch this, but I've never had it do this before. And so I want to see how it operates, see what it's looking through. It gives your brain context, because then what happens is your brain goes, "Oh, if it could do that thing, I bet it could do this other thing that's been gnawing at me for 3 years that I haven't done." And so that's kind of why it's nice to watch it work. A lot of you obviously are in home service businesses. That's why you're at my channel. And uh, so every now and again, I'll get a client who, they'll just stare at you and just watch you the whole time. And this is keeping in mind, my marketing does such good work. They know I'm great at what I do. They know I've had 4,500 clients and 800 some 5-star Google reviews, 1,000 reviews overall. And still, they just kind of, it's just a weirdness. And I always want to just say, man, it must be a luxury to be able to have so much time you can watch other people work. You know what I mean? I don't have enough time to even get to all the jobs that people want me to get to. I have to turn people down. I mean, I can't even do all the work that is on the table, let alone sit for an hour or 2 hours and watch somebody work. That blows my mind. I just don't get it. But that's different from people who we've hit it off and we're chit chatting. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking people who are just kind of like just sitting on the couch staring at you. Some of them will be right over your shoulder like absolute creeps, and I gotta back them off. Like, hey, dude, you gotta. I can come back a different time if you just want to stand in this spot and stare at the wall. But I've got to have room to work here. They'll get in my way, and I purposely will not move around them. I will go straight to my toolbox. If they're in the way of that, so be it. I mean, it's it's just it's unbelievable that people act a certain way. They don't think it's weird to be up in your personal space for an hour or two. I mean, that's odd. It's weird to me to be in somebody's personal space for a second. So, so I wonder how far she'll go with this. And I don't even know if it's going to be useful. And so what I do is I try all these things, and then hopefully the whole point is I try them all. If it doesn't work, at least I've gotten other ideas. You know, this will generate some other path for sure, whether it works or whether it doesn't. But it's leading me down a path, and I like to follow those paths because there's little nuggets of truth in there no matter what. And so if the destination is good as well, that's fine. But if it's not, at least you guys can know that this didn't work. And I will say it in the title, like, didn't work, so that you don't have to watch all this going on only for me to then say, sorry for having you sit through this 15 minutes of sort of dead air. But didn't work. Don't try this one. But even if let's say it didn't work today, right? Obviously, I'm saying if ChatGPT is capable of getting all these journalists I'm looking for, if she does that well, it means it worked. Now that doesn't mean the journalists are gonna respond to my email or DMs or whatever. You know, they generally don't. Like I have this service by a guy named Peter Shankman. He just puts media requests out twice a day via email, and so people will give their pitch. Like I'm looking for a guy who, you know, understands home service businesses and what the current trends are. That would be something where I then go, hey, I'm Marshall Wayne. I own a company called The Mounting Man. We're based out of the Twin Cities, 4,500 clients, 800 5-star reviews. I'd love to weigh in on this. You almost never get a response back. Like I've sent out like 50 of those, and one guy has ever responded once. Now, I don't know that the other ones that didn't respond didn't take my advice and use it. I'd have to do a reverse Google search or whatever they call that. See mentions. Oh, worked for 9 minutes, and here we go. Let's check this out. Okay. So that's the ideas they're thinking about. Lynn Underwood, Star Tribune, Home and Garden. Okay. Oh, this is good. Real estate reporter, Star Tribune's home editor, home and design section. So how many did they give me? Yeah, I can work with that. So we've got 10 of them. And so let's say this worked, right? Then I would say, can you find me 20 more? And then if that worked, I'd say, can you find me 20 more? But it's got all the drafts already. And so what I'll do is, obviously I'm going to send these by hand. I could have my OpenClaw bot, just take this and run with it and send it to them. But I'm not that comfortable yet with all that. There's this piece of you, no matter what you want to automate, you kind of want to have yourself in there. And now it writes like me already because it's got so much of my writing, and that's sort of what I've tailored these things to do. Learn about me, learn my interests, learn about my personal life. Not my bank account information or credit cards, but details that would allow them to frame things in a way where that's how I would write it. Or I'd call up backstory ideas or origin story ideas that I would write in. And so here's, right off the bat, here's what I would say. Thank you for all the work you did. One thing that I would change is I would say I have 4,430 clients and over 800 5-star Google reviews, because we want that credibility. We could even say I also you know, mounted TVs for many of the Vikings players, Timberwolves, um, Minnesota Wild. Um, what else? What else? What other little bragging things could we say without being too obnoxious? Anyway, I'll trust you. So rewrite those, please, with those things in mind. Just some credibility things instead of generic stuff. And write it how I would write it. You've seen me write so many things, so write it how I would write it. You already did a pretty good job, but I want to say it again so you think even harder on it. Okay, and she does not need whisper flow or agent mode. I was using whisper flow for the dictation, and so whisper flow, you will see. So I've dictated over a half of a year now, 6 months, almost 350,000 words. And that's considering I tried out Willow for a long time, and I've got a lot of words on there. And so 138 words per minute. So that's good, good, good. This seems to change day to day. So this part does. Like yesterday it was like 165 words a minute, but that's because you can have what are called snippets. And so when I'm in the middle of a job, if a person asks me a question, I will say TV mounting bracket information. So that's what I'll dictate into the phone, and then it writes out all this. And so then the words per minute count goes sky high because, you're writing like 100 words in 3 seconds. But that's what I use, Whisper Flow. Okay, strong credibility lines you can use. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're talking. Jim. I think we may also mention that I specialize in the gallery style TV installs like the Samsung Frame, the LG series, the Hisense Canvas, and the TCL Next Frame. We could just say the Samsung Frame to keep it shorter. What do you think about that? Give me your ideas before you rewrite it, because I'm already liking where this is headed, and I obviously don't want it to get too long and convoluted. Oh, she's still writing those out. She's still going. You know what? I'm not going to go any further. She did a great job, and I'm going to leave it. This is one of those things that probably nothing is going to come out of it. Almost certainly nothing. And so you don't want to spend a ton of time on it. And what the hell did the reporters care if I. Oh, I thank God he added that Samsung frame line in there. Although that is a good thing to add. Like, if I was going to do more of them, we would refine this to include those things. But, okay, do you think I should include brand imagery in the email? Like. Let's just grab. You'd think I would have these handier, but I don't. I've got so many variations of everything. Oh, we won't use that one. I'll just have that one. definitely wasn't going to use that exact one because that's my header for my website. But I wasn't going to dig anymore, you know. A journalist's reflex to that is this guy wants free advertising. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Book now. Yeah, I definitely don't want them to think I'm trying to sell them a TV mounting service. That would be hilarious, though. Hey, I don't care about being in your publication that distributes to 2 million people. I just want to see if you will need your TV mounted. That'd be pretty wild. That actually would probably work better than what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is basically cookie cutter with what everybody else does. You know, if I tried to sell them on a TV mounting service, which is the most innocent thing to sell anybody on, it might drum up a conversation. Neither one will work well. It's a horse apiece on which idea would work best. Sometimes I just go with the idea that is absolutely wrong. It's the George Costanza approach, right? He was always trying to brag to impress women, but that never worked, and so he just would say, "What did he say? I'm George. I'm 35. I'm unemployed, and I live with my mom." Something like that. And then women ate it up. Oh my God, this guy's so honest and confident in himself. Of course, that's a story that is not going to work in real life. Okay. Everything she's got there, that's reasonable. Is that the reporter could mistake this for an ad? Yeah. Okay, that's all just standard stuff. Okay. So we've got the markdown file. And let's see, let's click here. Oh, I gotta register for the Star Tribune to message that person on the Star Tribune, but I would definitely register for it. But if I can just message her on LinkedIn or. But I like how it dug, it showed like, hey, I enjoyed your, article here and your article here. Okay, the last thing though, let's put it on agent mode. I just looked through and you didn't give me a way to contact these people. I mean, I know I can look up their names and do that, but I mean, I could have done that in the first place, not using you for anything. So we gotta get this across the goal line. Come on now. Come on. Listen, I'm laying in bed. I'm not trying to do any more than I want to right now. So I gotta rely on you. You gotta get it done for me. You gotta have a little fun with these things. The more you have a little humor with them, they just kind of sort of adapt to how you operate, and then they'll be a little cheeky back, and then it just makes it more fun than just thinking, like you're seeing this just bland language, computer language. All right, looks like she got the LinkedIn. So I didn't even see what I copy and pasted from Google Gemini, so presumably it didn't even say to give me the contact information. And you have to be specific. Sometimes they will just assume and then do the things, but you got to be specific in your requests. Prompting computers has really helped me know how to prompt humans, which just means communicating well. Okay, here's what I would like to have done. Here's the steps to do it. You think you could do it? you know, that's what I do with these, and now you do that with, you get better at it with human beings because you realize how much your language can mess up the results that you get with an LLM, whether ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Claude. You realize, oh, I wasn't very clear on that. That was just implied. And then with the computer, you're like, well, why would it imply anything? It will follow your instructions. And so, we've gotten better at that with humans. Like, hey, this is what I need you to do. With my contractors, people I reach out to around the country that I'm trying to get to be contractors, these are what we need to make sure happen on each job, type of deal. It doesn't really, I haven't used it really with Mallory or Malia. Um, with your personal life, you don't feel like taking sort of tactics you learn to use on computers and use it in with the people you love the most. It just seems odd. Um, if I was like, Mallory, here's what I expect you to do. Here's the steps to do it. She would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm going to do that today. Mallory, I have a package. Do you think you could grab it? Here's the steps to do it. Now with humans too, humans understand. I would, if I was out on a job and I said, "Hey, can you grab my package quick so nobody takes it? This one's a valuable one," and so she'd make sure she grabbed it. And when she got home, I wouldn't need to say a whole line of details. These LLMs are getting better about that, for sure. But if you want the best results, you should take time to prompt. Sharpen the axe before trying to cut the tree down. It also saves the LLM from having to do a bunch of other things that it didn't really need to do if you prompt it properly. So you'll get quicker results, burn through less tokens. Just better for your, and it's better for you overall. So, what are we going on here? 28 minutes? This is riveting material. I mean, this is absolutely riveting. Oh, God. But I'm joking a little bit. To me, it's exciting because I like seeing it be able to do this. So for me, it kind of is pretty awesome. I wonder if I did it in Claude Codex. This is their coding platform. I wonder if it would have done it faster. I'm not sure. I'll try another thing like this. You know, so up this alley, like trying to get interviews from the people that are in mainstream media publications. The reason to do this, I didn't even talk about that. It was kind of implied that you knew, and you probably do know, but is to get backlinks from high-ranking sites, because it's like high school. If you're popular with the cool kid, then you by default are seen as cool. That's how it kind of works in the Google algorithm space. If the Star Tribune features you, well then, good lord, you must have a good business. You must be an absolute stud. And so that's the whole point. Just the more, people talking good about you, plus the LLM. So even though I have the absolute moat of all moats when it comes to, my rankings. So let's do this. Actually, let's go here. I don't know what my login is on when I'm on Chrome. So I use a service called Bright Local. And so here we'll go. Rankings up, rankings down. And so what happens is now I'll show you something wild. Google Search Console. Oh, I've already got it pulled up here. I forgot. So I have 484 pages ranked. So up until about February, I had 52, and then it went up to 86, and then 303, then 414, now 484. That is a wild jump. I'll have 1,000 soon. And so, because I've got tons of them that aren't currently ranked yet. They just keep coming in like every week. There's another jump. I mean, just here, that's 30 in a week. And so that's kind of how it rolls. But, well, that's coming in. All right, let's go here. We can click on this. And so if we do Google Business Profile rankings, local search grid, and so you'll see 1111111 all in all the rich suburbs. And then up here, I'm 4, which I don't even know how. The number one guy, good guy, but he's located here in Minneapolis and St. Paul, but it shows that he's located in Michigan. I mean, the second guy, Gopher, he's done work for me in the past. Good guy, John. Ron, I don't know personally, but I see his reviews. Does great work, and so these guys deserve to be where they are. But I don't know what it is with me. Like I don't know, a little bit ago. See here. See all those greens? I had basically all of them. So even this one. So I don't know what happened in that city to where, my rankings tanked. But I don't go up there much. It's so far north. It's not at all. Every time I get a job there, I'm like, I should just, cut that out of my radius. But let's select a keyword. So you'll see wall mount TV. That's my worst, right? And that's the worst search term, wall mount TV, because it's low intent. These are people who, if you think of it this way, a person that is more educated is going to write TV mounting service near me, right? If you write wall mount TV, there's good chance it's low income level. That's just how it is. You can hate me for saying it, but I'm telling the obvious. So you don't even want to bother with this. What happens is you're going to get phone calls nonstop of people going, "Oh, I needed pricing," and I say, "Oh, the pricing's right on the website." "Oh, I know, but it seemed really high on the website. I thought I'd call you." I'm like, "Well, the pricing is the pricing." "Well, I thought it was going to be like $50. Okay, yeah, it's not $50, but I can help you out. Go to an app called TaskRabbit. You can find somebody on there for $50. They might ruin your wall, but at least it'll be cheap. And then they often end up coming back to me. And so you'll see stuff like Samsung frame installation. This is where all the money is. Wall mount TV, no money. Lots of headaches. Samsung frame installation, if this thing ever pops up. Look at that. All ones all across the board. And it would keep going if we had this wider, obviously. I mean, you can see a general trend there. And then if we go to, so that's the big money one by far, mantle mount installation. For some reason, this one is like I'm non-existent there. And that happens every now and again where, look at, I'm number one everywhere. And for some reason, this little tiny pocket I'm not even ranked at all. Not in the top 20. So here, stellar. Here's stellar. Here's stellar, here's stellar, here, not even top 20 ranking. That's wildness. I don't even know how that works. I mean, I suppose I could look that up, but I'm not interested enough. It doesn't affect my business at all. That spot is in a hot pocket of clients. TV mounting service Minneapolis, obviously a big one. And so I dominate, just dominate. For some reason, Dannison's above me there. Good for him. He's an old guy, and his map pack rankings are stellar because he's been at it a long time. His, the execution of it, you wouldn't use it as a, you wouldn't say, look at this guy's stuff. This is how you get good rankings, because it wouldn't work for years and years until eventually you did enough work to get enough reviews. He's got over 500 or 400 5-star reviews. And so absolutely fantastic work is why he got here. But if you want to sort of shorten the time period to be successful, you're going to have a nice SEO system in place. But anyway, let's go back to here. Reattempting. All right, we're not going to keep up with that. Sometimes when you close these things, they'll think, well, he's not paying attention. I'm not going to work. And so that's how it goes. But I will, in the description, I'll just keep you posted on what happened. So I'll probably put this on YouTube, maybe in the school course as well. But we're going on 40 minutes. See you guys.